This is the water coming out of the trough here into the filtration pipe, which goes by gravity down to the back corner of the yard. And this is the main filtration trough here that I built. This is a ferro cement trough. You can see the grid, which is the subframe mesh, and there's a mulch column here in a modified plastic drum. This is Vietnamese mint, which I found is a very hardy plant and grows. I tried a whole bunch of plants, and the Vietnamese mint was the one that grew the best in these kind of conditions. The water comes through this pipe from the kitchen. There's a diverter, grey water diverter here. If you need to work on the system, you can throw that and the kitchen water goes down the normal drain. So the kitchen water comes in here, and in here I've just got a mulch bed. I'll just take it off. You can see there's just mulch in there. Underneath I've got coconut fiber underneath this rough mulch. I had a micronic mesh here before, but I found that this simple mulch column works the best. It's the most easiest to maintain, and it collapses down over time, and then you just top it back up with mulch every couple months or so. There's a terrarium here. It has it's just a plastic, just plastic film on a frame, and inside I've got various plants. It's an L-shaped trough. The water comes through this mulch bed and through these plants here in a kind of a natural mini natural waterway. I got a lily. This is a lily, and I've got some water primrose at the back there. That's called a roweo. Here is a croton. There's a pennywatts. These are pennywatts. This is a wetland reed of some kind, and you can see the water there from the kitchen. There's no smell here whatsoever. I have no problem at all with odors. You only get odors if you let water sit untreated, but this water has been treated straight away through the mulch column, along the bottom, through all these plants. There's soil in there too, and there's bricks and rocks and things, variety of plants which make it very diverse, kind of microflora life in there that helps break down the nutrients in the water, the detergent and the food scraps. There's no smell in here at all. As long as you treat the water straight away and don't let it sit, you won't have any problems with odors. So there's a filter foam in there that is just before this white pipe. You need this valve here to control the flow rate, so you can get it to trickle through the pipe so that you don't overload the pipe and have it back up, because you want it to trickle as slowly as possible. So I can change this here, back it off a bit, and that'll slow the rate down. The slower the better, so you don't overload the pipe. I got cypress mulch in here in the front end. This is an aquarium filter foam that you can get from a pet shop or aquarium shop, and these reeds are bare rooted, so after a couple months, you can see the water flowing there, they fill out and you may need to take them out and trim the roots after a few months. You can see they're growing quite well. I had soil in here before in the roots, and I found that caused a problem because the water would run over the top of the soil and wouldn't get filtered properly. So I took all the plants out and I took all the soil off the roots and put them back in. This works much better because the pipe doesn't block up as easy with bare rooted plants. They grow better in the sun also. See, they're growing quite well. Let's go have a look at the filter box. This is another treatment tank, 5,000 litres. I built it myself from galvanized sheet. And I've got silver perch in here and also a bunch of aquarium fish. And they help filter the water. They breathe the water and they filter it. I don't eat the fish. I don't have any intention to farm them. I just use them as filtering fish. This here is it's a sand filter box. The water from the front comes in here and goes in that first compartment there. And that's all Vietnamese mint there. I put about 5 different plants in there to see which one would do the best, and the Vietnamese mint is thriving in that sandbox there. So it goes in this end. It percolates through the sandbox. And then ends up in this back compartment here. I got fly screens holding the sand back. Ends up in there and then flows by gravity into the tank. These are all pennywatts which float on top, so if the level goes up and down, all the plants just follow the level up and down. You don't need to make special pontoons or anything. And this is just weed, floating kind of weed. You only need one that you can just borrow from an aquatic center, and it'll populate the whole tank. So then the overflow comes out this grey pipe there, which is just a that's just a diverter hose, and that flows into these 4 barrels here, which for further treatment. They have aquatics in there. You got juncus, and there's just the pondweed, and here's another variety. I've forgotten what these are called. So these are joined with a white plastic fitting about the midsection. The water flows into this one first and then just percolates through all 4 barrels, and then it overflows. I've got a strainer there to keep out debris, and it flows by gravity to the holding tank along the back through just a black poly pipe. You can see some of the poly pipe there. And then I built another tank here. This is a 10,000 litre tank that I built, and the water ends up by gravity in this little holding area. And this automatic float switch bilge pump. This is a Seaflow brand, 12 volts. And when the level comes up, it turns on, the little float switch turns on, and pumps the water into the tank. So I've run this on a little solar system here that I built, and you can see my little trolley converted into a mini power pack, and that little panel is enough to keep that battery charged up. There's an overflow on the tank here which goes on the bananas if the tank is full. And I've got a bilge pump here. It's about $25, and I can turn that pump on with this switch here, and I got a garden hose there that we can use to water the garden. Well, I hope you got something out of that information. The tank is almost full. We've never run out of water, and we can grow a lot more stuff now. Good luck with it, and thanks for listening. Bye.